special guest with us coming up next. We're talking about cannabis in Texas. I'm just trying to shift gears here. Cannabis in Texas. What is going on there? I'm so excited to talk with this amazing woman who I've been getting to know over the past couple of months. She's the founder of MARYJAE. Her name is Jae Graham-Anciso. And she's the CEO and co-founder of MARYJAE Modern Cannabis Experience, an LGBTQIA+, BIPOC, and women-owned lifestyle dispensary in Austin, Texas. MARYJAE, inspired by her father, was founded with the goal of helping others by offering a judgment-free experience for both the canna-curious and connoisseurs. Prior to opening MARYJAE, Jae was a manager and buyer for several top awarded retailers while winning many awards on her own for both customer service and merchandising. After 10 years of being behind the scenes in the cannabis space, she and her partner, Francisca, decided to travel to the States for a year to learn more about cannabis businesses before opening MARYJAE in 2017. 3 years later, MARYJAE is ranked #1 on Yelp, Google, and was voted Austin's best CBD purveyor by Austin Chronicle. As her business grows, so does her passion, and she continues to advocate for the full legalization of cannabis in the state of Texas and hopes that MARYJAE will serve as a base for those looking to learn more. So please welcome my friend, Jae.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for that introduction. That was beautiful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So we're going to be here together today. I know you probably have some things to share. So this is an interview, and anybody who's got some questions, please feel to pop them in the chat box. I will periodically bring them up. I do have a few of my own questions, though, and some of you who joined our Women Grow takeover the other day might have heard some of these, but not every storytelling and sharing is always the same. So, I know that something that inspired you to start your business was your dad. And I'd love to learn more about that and to hear, your story behind the scenes on how this was created.
Thank you for asking. He is truly the reason why, and he is definitely in my mind and what keeps me going. He is definitely our why. So it's extremely important. So thank you for asking. All right, guys. So like Lisa said, I was a buyer behind the scenes. And during that time, I was also my father's full-time caregiver. He was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver and prostate cancer. And I continuously tried to introduce cannabis to him. But mind you, he was in his 80s. So it was very hard to get his mind to shift to see that it was medicine over the devil's lettuce. I remember one day he was extremely sick, you guys, and he was really frail. He wasn't eating. He could barely get to doctor's appointments. We'd have to call them in. He was on so many medications. It was sad seeing my hero and my best friend disintegrate in front of me. So I remember one day after a horrible day, I said, Dad, please let me and Rob, my brother, share something with you. And he says, you know what, honey, I'm dying anyways. Okay, let's do it. So I went and grabbed the bong. I wish I had one of Doreen's, but I went and grabbed a bong that I had and we loaded it and we explained to him, this is where you put your medicine. This is how you use it. I'm going to do it. Rob's going to do it. And then we're going to give it to you. So we did a couple passes through and he said, honey, I don't feel good. I need to lay down. I just don't feel good. I got a headache. I was like, oh my God, I messed him up. Mind you, he's 80. I'm his full-time caregiver. I'm only living off experience. And so it scared me because I didn't know with his medications, everything. So I laid him down. I told my brother, let's leave. Came back in 20 minutes and I checked on him. And I remember he was just cuddled up, sleeping so hard. And I remember thinking, or tapping on his shoulder, Dad, how are you feeling? And he turns around and says, honey, can we get some chili cheese dogs and Sonic slushes and breakfast tacos? And I want some beans and cheese. I said, you can have whatever you want. And so my brother and I split up and we went and bought food for him, which was the most exciting thing ever because, like I said, he wasn't eating. And we came back and he said, can we smoke again? I said, yes, 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 yes. That's what we do. We smoke before we eat and we smoke after we eat. if you need it. So we smoked again. And you guys, I remember watching The Water Boy, and he watched it all the way through and ate several snacks and cookies and candies and like all kinds of stuff. And the plant did that. The plant did that. He was open enough to take it and receive it, and the plant did that. My mother passed away 10 years before him with breast cancer and cirrhosis of the liver. I truly believe, my personal, like just living with him, I know that cannabis gave him that extra extended life. To see him, we went to doctor's appointments, you guys. I remember we had a day of 6 appointments, and each one of them, he had gained weight. He was walking with his little walker, and they're like, how is he coming here? What are you doing with him? And Dad says, tell them, honey. And I remember thinking, Dad, I don't know if they'll take you from me. I am your caregiver. I don't know how this works. And so I don't know if I can be honest with them and tell them that you're smoking weed, right? In Texas. I just don't know how it works. Or what if they deny your medications? What if they drug test you? Like, I just don't know. And he said, I'd rather you be honest with them because this is my life and this is helping me, and it can help other people if you tell them. So I remember one of the first doctors, his pain management doctor, he said, Jay, what are you doing with him? He's looking really good. And I said, I shared cannabis with him. And he just looked at me and he said, quality of life. Look at him. Quality of life. Every doctor that day, y'all, told me quality of life. Everyone. I was waiting to like hear it and them telling me, oh, you're giving him drugs and you're a horrible daughter and all this. But no, everybody said quality of life. Even one doctor said, I don't know very much about it, but what I can see in front of my eyes, fuck science. This is quality of life. Look at him. That there just was the best thing ever. And when he, through his passing, I remember one day, he looked at me, he said, honey, you promise you'll share weed with people like me, or just people in general, people that might not have a daughter like you, or someone that they can go buy it from or get it from or hook them up with. I said, Dad, I don't know about all that, but I promise to help people the way I can. I promise one day, right? I'll help people. And he ended up passing, and he left a house to me. And my partner, Francisca, said, you know what? I think you should sell your house. I think you should help people like him and do it the way you do it. Quit doing it for the white man, everyone else, and do it for yourself. You've been doing it for over 10 years, behind the scenes for 16 stores. Why don't you do it for yourself and do it for your dad? Do it for our community. They need someone like you. And I told her no. My dad had said it's the American dream and never sell that house. He worked his whole life for it. And I sat on it and I thought about it. And I said, fuck a house. Fuck a house, right? That's nothing. It's materialistic. And you can always get another house or apartment, couch hop, whatever you have to do. But to be able to reach more lives like my father, which we have, and to see people bringing in their grandparents, people coming in that are just curious, that want a safe space to learn about cannabis, we've created that. And that's all because of my father. He gave me the okay. That day he told me to share cannabis with people, I truly felt like he was saying, Jay, you're good. I'm sorry for all the times you got in trouble. I'm sorry for always thinking it was bad and that you were doing bad things. I felt like it was the okay. And so we sold the house, y'all. And we traveled for a year wanting to really get to know about this plant and the products so I can connect them to my people here in my community. And so 2017, we opened up, and on hopes that people would understand our idea. It is not a typical smoke shop dispensary, and I hate even calling it that. I feel like we are a dispensary lifestyle shop. We are everything from the plant to clothes to earrings to necklaces, anything and everything. And so it's a beautiful, safe space created for women, women of color, people of color, the queer community, anybody that's just different and can relate. That's what I'm here for. I am an open, free judgment space, and everything in our shop is merchandised beautifully, like beautiful, just for you. Like, you deserve that. And if people come in, they're like, it's so pretty. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you deserve that. I'm sorry you haven't gotten that. So MARYJAE was born, and Mary is actually my partner, my fiance's mother, and then I'm the J. So her two favorite women in her life is what I like to say.
Jay, I find like so much camaraderie with an alignment with your story. You know, like I've shared with this with you a little bit behind the scenes, but you know, both of my parents died of cancer as well, and it has been a great inspiration to me to continue doing this work. You know, I am also a feminist and I believe deeply in the liberation of women through cannabis. And so, you know, weaving these two things in together, your passions with helping make cannabis more accessible in Texas, you know, choosing to not buy a house and choosing to open a store instead is a really big deal, you know, and I definitely want to acknowledge you for that. And how beautiful that you got to share this experience like with your dad, where you were out and he was out and you're sharing this moment. You know, it is something that I do wish so deeply I had a chance to do when my dad was dying and when my mom was dying, and even beforehand when they were even sick, you know, being able to get people medicine. I've met people who have healed from cancer, and I do believe it is possible. And I do believe that the work that you're doing here and that we're doing here together is a stepping stone towards seeing that in our lifetime.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And that's the whole reason I think we set the store up how we did. Y'all, when people walk by, they think it's a jewelry store. Like, I didn't bullshit. I got a design team. I got fabricators. Like, I had one chance to bring this idea in our heads to life, and I hadn't found it anywhere. We traveled all over looking for it, through smoke shops, through dispensaries, trying to find it. Has to be out there. And we couldn't find it, so we created it. And people walk in and they feel so safe. I had a mother reach out. I have to share this very quickly because this is it just touches my heart so much. I had a mother reach out who just lost her husband, and her son had just gotten in trouble for consuming cannabis at school. And mind you, he is under 18. So she reached out through Google to our MARYJAE and says, "This is my situation. I have no one to reach out to in my family. I just lost my husband. And you seem to be about family and helping people. And is there any way that you can just help me guide this situation? Because I don't even know to have this conversation with my son." Right. And I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, this is why I opened. Yes, I am the connector. I am your guide to this journey. So yes. And so I made an appointment with them, and they came in, and he was so shocked that he was standing in a dispensary with his mother, which, mind you, they'd never talked about cannabis before. And I had to take them separately apart. And I said, okay, Mama, what can I say and what can I say? And she says, I just need you to do your thing. I'll be back. I'm going to have you go look around at the pretty stuff. So I talked to son, and I was like, I just want to tell you, I am you. I lost my father too. And every day that goes by, I think about him, and I live in a dark space of depression. So I know where you're coming from. And please know that you're not alone. There are people like you out here, and I am one of them. And that's the reason I opened this space. And so he was just in shock. He said, I can't believe it's you, ma'am. I saw who you are and that you're the owner of the shop, and I can't believe you're talking to me. I said, well, I can't believe I'm talking to you, because you're a very special young man, and your mother is extremely special. She reached out so we can have this conversation. And we ended up getting him some CBD products to help with his depression and just help calm him down. And you guys, they come back together, and to see them bond, like they were arguing in the store, and I had to tell Mama, stop, don't yell at him. And I told him, don't lie to her. I connect these people and I help them through the plant, and they come back every other week and they shop. And this is what I get to do by selling my house. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
So incredible and so inspiring and so life-changing on so many levels. And I do think that, like, sounds like you're really weaving in this work like spiritually,
Yes.
Like you're helping people on their path, and that, that helps keep us connected to what we're doing. And it seems like it's helping you to keep connected with what you're doing. And I hear that you're really passionate about connecting dots there and connecting families and being there for people. We just have a few minutes left, if you can believe it.
So fast.
I know. And so I just wanted to ask you, like, what has it been like specifically to be a queer Latina in the cannabis space?
Lonely. And that's the honest truth. The community here in Texas is huge, but it's lonely. So to provide a space for people like me is fucking beautiful. And there are more of us, and there will be more of us. And I throw out my beacon to my people, and I'm like, I am here, come find us. Like, you have a safe space. So it's lonely, but we have a lot of work to do. And there's people like you that we can connect, and we have the same agenda. We want You know, we want this plant for everyone, for all the people. So, yeah.
Thank you for your honesty and your bravery and even just sharing that truth, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes in different spaces for different reasons, it is lonely out here, you know, like you're pioneering a space. Sometimes you're the only person you even know who isn't doing anything on that level, you know, and like, who do you even talk to about what you're going through? You know, as a woman, as a queer woman, as a Latina woman, as a business owner, as somebody who's pushing the limits in Texas and taking risks, you know, all of that is really big, you know, and it's really important to have a network of people,
Yes.
women,
Women.
supportive,
Yep.
who some of us have been there, not exactly where you are, but some of us have been doing things in the space, and we can compare our stories and share tips. Like earlier, Doreen was talking about thinking big, you know,
Yes.
and how to get seen and like how to make a splash.
Yep.
No pun intended with the mermaid bong, you know, and
Yes.
and we need women like her who have been doing things in a certain way and have been successful at it. We need to be able to share tips and tricks with one another. And that's why we keep doing this. And that's why we keep making bridges between our business community and the consumer community, because we're all actually just one network of women trying to do shit in the world.
That is it. That is it. You got it. You got it. And you know what? I want to give a shout out to Doreen. I've known her, never met her, but like we text each other, we call each other, we message each other. And when I do get to meet her in person one day, I'm going to give her the biggest hug and never let go and exchange that energy. But she is an open book, you guys. Do not be afraid to reach out to women, to people in the space. If you're curious and you want to do something like this, reach out. Like, we are here, and you'd be surprised the feedback, and you'd be surprised what you get back by just asking. And that's one thing I learned that women do not do. We do not ask. We try to take it all on ourselves, and reach out and ask.
We do try to do a lot of things on our own. I could definitely identify with that as somebody who's grown up in an only child household. My parents got divorced when I was 17. I left home when I was 17. I've been very independent. And my go-to is like, I can do it myself, you know, and it's really an interesting thing to try to shift when, you know, when we notice as business owners or in our regular lives feeling overwhelmed is actually like information that we're not actually asking for the help that we need, you know? And it is kind of hard to ask for help sometimes because you have to figure out what is it that I need? And then you have to like figure out how to put it into words that other people understand. And then you have to figure out how you need to tell that need to. And it's really complex. And it's like, I might as well just do it myself because it's hard to even figure out what it is I need and want and how to communicate that. So our relationships are great practice for that, you know, and doing the big things that you're doing down there in Texas is also great. You have all these relationships with vendors and customers, and, you know that we're here and that I'm here personally. You know, I offered this already, and I want to reiterate that like, if you ever want to talk, you know,
always, I've got your number now, you know. Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Please follow Jae on Instagram, Shop MARYJAE. And if you're ever in Austin, Texas, stop by her store and make sure to make some purchases from it, because you do sell things online, right?
We do. We've got 2 websites. You know how crazy this space is. Credit card processor says you can't have this, and you can't have this together. So we have MARYJAE.com for all of your CBD and lifestyle needs. And then we have MARYJAECannabis.com for all your THC needs.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for providing the space. Thank you.